Welcome back to Radio Northern Beaches. You're listening to Hope and Victoria on the 3 p.m. Takeover. Hi, Hope.
Hi, Victoria.
How you going?
I'm pretty good today. It's a nice day outside. What about you?
Good, thanks. Yeah, had a good week.
It's good. It has been pretty average, which is kind of okay.
I guess better than having a bad week.
Yeah, as long as it's not bad, then we're all good.
Cool. Well, we've got some excellent topics coming up today. What are we talking about today?
We are going to talk a little bit about things that you have been spelling wrong your whole life or things that you've been saying wrong your whole life.
I definitely have a few of those.
Oh, so do I. We're going to talk a bit about pickup lines and meeting people and how you think that should work. We're going to talk a little bit more about people that write things online as like long confession pieces and write their own autobiographies. And then we got a bit of a special mention of something else at the end.
Yeah. So it'll be a great show ahead. So keep it tuned here and we'll see you at the other side of this song.
Welcome back to the 3 p.m. Takeover. This is Radio Northern Beaches and this is your Wednesday afternoon drive home show. Hey, Victoria.
Hi.
We are going to talk a little bit about words that you say wrong or words that you spell wrong that maybe you didn't realise until you were a little bit older than when you should have realised.
Now, this came up because I found out a couple of days ago that my whole life I've been saying a word wrong. Now, it's not the most common of words.
Okay.
But I was typing it up for one of my uni assignments and I typed it up the way I say it and I was like, oh, hello, red squiggly line. What are you there for?
Always means you're in the wrong.
Yeah, right-clicked and checked. I was like, oh, I've been adding a letter and pronouncing it wrong.
What word is this?
So the word is meant to be celestial, like for astronomy.
Like a celestial calendar or something.
I've always said celestial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sort of makes sense. Now I think about it, I feel like I might be confused by that.
I feel like I've been trying to deduce it, and I believe it's because, and here's my very thin,
thin strand
my thin
to defend
justification,
yourself.
is that like the word extraterrestrial has the real at the end, and so my brain just went, oh, celestial.
Oh,
Like no one's
that
ever
sort of makes sense now. I think
no
about
one's
it.
ever not known what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but no one's ever corrected me.
Maybe because a lot of people get stuck on that one.
Maybe it's a common one.
Celestial.
Hopefully.
No, that sounds common. I'm going to buy that one. Things that I said wrong. Okay, so the word album, as in a photo album.
Yeah.
I said album with an N on the end, like with an N for, I don't know, nougat on the end instead of M for microphone.
Did you say N for nougat?
Nougat, it was the first thing I thought of.
That's just strange.
It was the first word that came to my
N
mind.
for Nelly.
No, clearly my mind is on food. So I used to say photo album.
Oh, that's very special little speech impediment.
I worked it out when I was about 10 or 11.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah,
But
I
it's
never
spelled
thought
with an M. Like you never saw it written down with. I can't really talk. I said I added a letter, but
But do you ever write down the word album?
yeah,
I suppose. I don't know. I just
not heaps often, but yeah, I write it down.
yeah. I think, but N's and M's can get confusing though. I
Yeah,
used to have
definitely.
a friend that said pumpkin instead of pumpkin.
Oh, that's really cute though.
So if you're out there and you don't know how to say it, it is in fact pumpkin with an M.
Oh, bless.
What about? Is there any words that you've spelt wrong your whole life?
Oh, yeah, there's heaps I spell wrong. That's what
There's
spell check
still-
is for. And
words
autocorrect,
I
you're like,
still
that's
spell
what I
wrong.
meant. There's a word that I used to always spell incorrectly, but it was more that I never knew how to properly spell it. And that was the word necessary. And
Okay.
then I was
Yeah, I get
taught
that.
recently how to remember how many C's and how many S's are there, and that it's a shirt has one collar, so one C, and then two sleeves, two S's. And I've never spelled it incorrectly since.
Oh, who knew? I had that with desert and dessert. You always want more dessert, so it's got two S's, and desert has one.
I was always told like desserts is stressed spelled backwards, and for some reason I always knew how to spell stressed.
What an odd correlation.
I know.
Weird thing to remember it by, but never mind
worked,
about
right?
that one.
But it's like spelling. Like I always say Wednesday. I will confess, I
Wednesday.
always say Wednesday.
Yeah, I do that with February.
February.
However you say it,
Yeah.
February.
We're very special people today.
We're having a bit of confusion on this show, but yeah. So if there's any words out there that you spell wrong or you read wrong, you don't know
You're not alone.
the meaning to, you're definitely not alone here. All right, guys, keep it right here on Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7 and 90.3.
Welcome back to Radio Northern Beaches. You're listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover.
You sure are.
Having some fun today. We've only just gotten started. We've still got another 3/4 of an hour of excellence ahead of us.
Something like that. Keep you entertained for your drive home.
Yes, indeed. But right now we're going to talk about pickup lines
Oh, my favourite.
because they're a bit of fun because they can be very, very cheesy
They
and therefore
can be,
very hilarious.
But there are some really good ones as
yes. There's always like the really cliche classics. We're not talking about them. I'm talking about the super cheesy ones because
Okay.
I had a friend in high school who used to, we a mutual friend in high school, and she used to always test out her pickup lines on me because she thought it was really funny. Like she'd walk up behind you and put up a really deep voice, use this really cheesy pickup line and see if you could catch it was her before you turned around. Well, it was really fun.
Oh, fair enough. So hit me. What's your cheesy pickup line for the day?
I feel like I'm going to get the phrasing of it wrong, but it's something that goes along the lines of, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Prepare yourself.
I'm ready. Deep breath.
Okay, so that's with it. I'll put on the voice like she used to as well. Hey babe. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Hey babe, glad I got my library card because I'm checking you out. It's so bad.
That's actually really funny.
And I can't, if someone used it on me, I can't tell if I'd be like, I would just cringe and it wouldn't work, or it'd be so bad that I'd be like, that works.
It's
I'm happy.
bad because like it would work if it wasn't a library card because the library card makes it sort of lame.
Yeah.
I mean, I love going to the library, but it's just still kind of makes it a bit off.
Do you have any favorites?
Any favorites? There's some really great ones in movies,
Yes.
but I can't really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what that one from that movie where he goes
That one from that movie? Helpful.
No, it's something like Rapunzel, Rapunzel with hair so fine, come out your window, climb down the vine.
Oh, that's from Princess Diaries too.
Yeah, it
and she's
is.
like, what does she say?
She says, "Your feet, dear sir, isn't
No,
easy."
the task you ask is no easy feat.
No,
Something.
no. It goes, the
should have
task you
researched
ask,
this
dear
before we
sir,
went on
isn't
air.
easy. And I won't respond to that line because it's far too cheesy.
Yes. Oh, look at you, good memory.
I know. I was
Yes.
a lead at this.
Oh, I love that movie.
Have you ever had any strange pickup lines used on you?
No, never had anyone try and pick me up.
Oh.
I know, depressing, awkward moment. But in saying that, in fairness, I don't really go out.
Yeah.
I feel like
that
for
makes
that to actually
sense.
happen, I need to be out in, at clubs and stuff. And
Or
that's
somewhere
not
where
my
someone
scene.
is likely to use a bit of a weird line.
Yeah, it's not really my scene.
Yeah, I can see that. I've never had any
I've
weird
always
lines used on
wanted.
me.
I've always wanted to order a coffee and have like the barista write like the name and not like the call me with their number.
Oh,
But
that kind of thing is really funny, yeah.
I always use a keep cup. So if I did, I'd be like, "Can you not deface my cup?"
Can you not write all over it?
Yeah, I don't use the takeaway cups.
I've had people do that. I've had people leave me their number on receipts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've had it done at Big W and also at Woolworths.
Well, maybe it happens to me and I just throw my receipt out and I'm just
And you just
serve them,
miss the number.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
what happens.
Can't call them back, which is a bit sad.
We'll say that's what happens when in reality it's not at all what happens.
I always think about, when you're in a public bathroom and people have written numbers on the walls.
You always want to call them.
I always want to call it and just see like if they expect or forgot that they wrote their number on a wall,
it's probably
many years ago or something.
It's probably a prank.
Yeah, but
Like
I
would never write my name at all, but I think it'd be quite funny to write like a friend's number.
Write someone else's number. But I've always
Yeah.
wondered what would happen if you call one.
Probably a very
I
angry
always want to
person
be
picks
that
up.
person that does something like that or prank call someone, but I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I get to doing it and I just can't follow through.
I am rubbish at pranks.
Oh, really?
I'm bad at them, and I actually really, I think it's because I don't like receiving them either. Because I got pranked.
Oh, that's true.
I had a really
I feel like
innocent
the
prank
karma
pulled
will
on
come
me.
around and bite me.
No, I just don't. I'm just like, it's such a mean thing. I don't mind really innocent pranks, but even then, if I'm the butt of the joke, I actually really, really don't enjoy it. I was at a friend's like barbecue thing, and there's a couple of school people there.
Okay.
And there was a person I'd never met, and she walked up. She's like, "Oh, hey, Victoria, I haven't seen you since high school. Blah blah blah. Do you remember when this teacher used to do this?" And I stood there, and I just went, "I don't know you." And for a second, I was tempted to like do the fake, "Oh hi," but I knew everyone in our year.
Yeah, you can't really miss anything.
And then everyone was laughing because like, "Oh, we got you." And I was really angry. I was like, "That's a really stupid joke. I don't like pranks. When have I ever wanted to prank someone?"
Yeah, things like that aren't funny. I don't.
But
sort
when
of
you're
see
the
point of
prankster, it's funny. Like I've been on camps and like as a group, you try and prank people, and they're fun. Like there's always like the cling wrap over the toilet, and you take everyone's
pranks
shoes.
like that are fun.
And
I feel like pranks to do with words are never fun. Action pranks are cool.
I think if you're going against a group, it's funny. When you're like attacking one person, I really don't like that. I feel bad for the person.
That's true. And I feel like there's a really fine line now between pranking and bullying. So it's sort of best to stay away from pranks altogether.
Prank a group. Group on group is funny.
Yeah. Group on group is
Group
fun.
on one person, bullying.
Not bullying. You crossed the line. You've been classified as a bully.
Like it does depend what you do, and there are, like I
That's
said,
true.
really innocent pranks. But no, I've never liked pranks or being pranked or pranking or any of that?
I can't really say that I've ever been pranked. If I have, it's a really terrible prank because I didn't notice that I was being pranked.
I am unprankable.
I am. Oh, actually, no, except for there's something really cool that I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. So when I was in university, I did an exchange to Canada for 6 months.
You are in university. Continue.
No, but when I was doing a different degree.
Oh, sorry.
I did
when I was
6
doing
months.
my first degree.
I did 6 months overseas at a university in Canada. And a week or so before Christmas, they have what's known as Prank Week. And apparently it was like, it's quite a thing at Canada.
A whole week of pranking.
Yeah, and
that is my literal hell.
No, because you don't prank someone for the whole week. What happens is you have to plan a really big prank, and everyone pulls someone else's name out of the hat, so you know who you're going to prank.
It's like a really awful Secret Santa.
Yeah, and you have a week to prank them. So all you know is that the prank will happen to you at some point in those 7 days. So you're waiting because you don't know which day this unknown person is going to prank you. And they're really good pranks because I
would be stressed for the whole week.
It was stressful.
I would want to be done on the first day.
Stressful.
I want to be done on the first day so I don't have to wait all week being like, is it today? Is it today?
What happened to me,
so
it was really
bad.
good. You could use your student identification card to unlock someone else's room, and someone unlocked my room while I was in class, went in and covered my entire room with toilet paper.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, so like they weren't bad pranks, but you just waited and waited. To see what they were. But I could not move for toilet paper. I couldn't even get in my room.
Oh wow!
And it was pinned up to the walls.
It wasn't like covering stuff. It was like filled.
It was filled. They got like.
Oh my gosh.
With like unraveled toilet paper.
A part of me says, what a waste. But that's a nice innocent prank.
Well, they got a whole group of people together and it took them like the entire time I was in class.
Wow.
But I had to wade through the toilet paper and then get it out of my room as well.
Oh.
So pranks like that are cool. And that's
how long did you have to wait? During the week? If it was 7 days, or was it like the 5 uni days?
I think it was about a full week because we lived together. So
okay. So what day were you pranked on?
Somewhere in the middle of the week. I think about the 4th. So... I didn't have to wait too long.
4 days though. I couldn't do it.
I knew it wouldn't be anything too bad.
But I think this comes back for me not liking pranks. I think it comes back to like just the idea of like I don't like fright.
I don't like things that are unexpected.
Yeah. And so like there are fun, cute things and surprises, but I don't I don't actively go out and watch horror movies because I don't like being frightened. So I guess pranks often take the form of like jumping out and scaring people, and I don't like jump scares.
Yeah, so, I don't like anything that's sudden, like any kind of sudden bang or sudden noise will really stress me out.
Whilst toilet paper in the room, you work when you're like, oh, okay, haha. Like it's, yeah. And part of me would be like, is there something hiding in the toilet paper? But
no, there wasn't.
There was like a person waiting in the middle.
There was nothing in there.
Suffocating slowly. Mm.
But no, I thought that was quite cool. And apparently that's a thing all over Canada at different universities.
Wow.
And it's a certain week every year that it happens. And
wow. That's kind of cool. I like that they're innocent pranks. Like you always see in movies some really horrible pranks. Like I watched The Parent Trap the other day.
Oh, I love that film.
They do really good pranks in it. I'm like, I'm not even creative enough to do that, and I would feel bad if it's like there's food involved. I can't do it.
And what's worse is they're supposed to be 11?
They're so creative. I was
young.
Never that creative with pranks when I was 11, and yeah, I feel like I should have. Like I'm the younger sibling. I feel like I should have tried to prank my brother, but I was probably a bit too scared that he'd like. We do have one slight prank in our family.
Oh yeah, what's
we
that?
have this. I don't even know where. I think it was like one Halloween. We like were decorating for some reason, and we got one of those like plastic spiders. Those really floppy ones. And for some reason, it became a thing that one person would have it, and then they'd put it somewhere for the next person.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't like because I hate whenever I get it. I hold on to it for ages because I don't want to prank because then I know that it's going to come back to me because if you open a drawer, it's there, or like you move your pillow and it's there. But when I have it,
that's terrifying.
Oh my god! And it's quite realistic looking. And the worst thing is when I try and keep it for ages because I don't want to have it done to me.
Yeah.
But when I have it, I'll put it like in a drawer and be like, okay, because I don't want if it's out in the open, someone will take it.
Yeah.
But I'll like forget what drawer I put it in, so like I'll open the drawer and I'll scare myself again. So I prank myself without realizing it's the worst.
That's so funny. My dad and I have a less intense version of that with a candy cane. We just hide
terrifying candy cane.
We hide it around the house. The other person has to find it.
Do you want to switch? I'd way prefer a candy cane.
It's not very
have the
scary.
spider. Oh gosh.
Oh dear. All right.
I just realized I don't know where the spider is now. I'm hoping that
it might jump out and scare you. You've probably lost it and you're going to scare yourself.
Oh, probably. It's probably my turn.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway.
All right. You are listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria on Radio Northern Beaches 88.7 and 90.3. Keep it here, guys. You too, every breaking wave. This is Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7 and 90.3, and you are listening to the 3 p.m. Takeover with Hope and Victoria. Hey, Victoria.
Hi, still here. Woo-woo.
Still here. We are sort of a little bit past halfway through our show this afternoon, and I have something that I want to talk a little bit about, Victoria.
Yes, lay it on me.
So, I've been reading a lot of things online recently, and I'm studying journalism, so I've been very I keep an eye on what goes on online, if that makes sense. I look
Ear to the ground, finger on the pulse.
Pretty much. I like to check out how people write, why people write about certain things, and sort of what writing styles and writing techniques work.
Oh, yeah. Like, look at the different variations there are.
Yeah.
Especially with the internet, I think
it's
so easy to write something and be out there on the internet anonymously or with your name attached to it.
Yeah, definitely. And there's so many platforms now, whether you're a blogger or you use a medium like Tumblr or you just get out there and get something published as a freelancer. There are so many routes. And I have been reading a lot of pieces online that are sort of, what I would classify confessional pieces. And there may be, anywhere from 800 to 1,000 words. And they're sort of people coming out and really talking strongly about an issue that affects them in their life, whether it's the way they cope with grief or their insecurities about being overweight, right down to sort of small things like how they've coped with having miscarriages, or they feel like they're a really bad parent, or they're really unhappy in their marriage. So like people go quite deeply into issues that affect them.
Wow. I think that's really interesting, and that the internet's provided, because like there are some pretty awful things on the internet and there are also some pretty wonderful things.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that people have used it as a platform to not air their dirty laundry, but like air their concerns that have been really built up.
Yeah, I think it's that when they don't want to actually talk to somebody in person about it, but they feel a need to get it off their chest.
Well, I know that there are websites where you can sort of pair up with random people and like it's completely anonymous, and you can sort of vent and another person will listen and type back, and
Oh really? That's a really cool idea.
I think if there's a few you can choose to not be anonymous, but generally you can choose like what your topic is, so whether you want to vent or you want to like talk about something great that happened or something sad, and the person's is prepared for like what
you're going to talk about, or maybe you want to offer a listening ear to somebody.
Yeah, so you can also choose to be someone who responds. I think that's a really lovely way, because I think some people can feel like no one listens. Even if something lovely happens and you want to share it with someone and you're like, oh, there's no one listening. It's a really nice idea
sometimes
that
it's nice
someone
to
out there will listen.
Everything. Yeah, or share an achievement, or just, share that you've been having a good week or anything like that. But what I find interesting about a lot of these pieces is it's usually people looking for some sort of feedback from people that everything is going to be okay, regardless of what they're discussing, which I think is really, really interesting. So I've been reading pieces from a really wide variety of news sources, and especially ones from overseas. And I think the most common topic that comes up is people that feel like they're not adequate parents, which is really, really interesting. And they're sort of, it'll be really tiny issues like, I'm really sad that I have 2 sons. I love them, but I wanted daughters.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and it's amazing how these things can kind of build up with people, and you need to write about it in 1,000 words, like this small issue about the fact that your children are not the gender that you hoped for or something. And
it must be such a hard thing to deal with, because like she said, it's not that she doesn't love her kids, but a little part of her always wanted a daughter, and that's
something like that.
Were those the ones you read? Were they anonymous, or did people sign their name to them, or was it a mixture?
It was sort of a mixture. So for some of them, it was writers who are quite well known from being part of a certain website or a certain news platform, and they come out and they say something quite personal about themselves, which writers tend to do in order to, I guess, attract with their audience on a more personal level. And then there are always the ones that are anonymous as well.
I will say that I've gone online to vent about stuff, because I can't write in journals, and I feel like it's taken me a while to realize what it is, and I wonder if it's because you don't have that feeling that someone knows. Because sometimes I guess like if you want to vent, you don't want to just vent to yourself. You want someone else to I guess validate that annoyance or concern. So like there's a few times where I've just written on a blog or something, and it could be something silly like, I've had such a bad day, this has happened, and I know I'm really grateful and I'm lucky for these things, but this is really getting to me. And a few times completely anonymous people have just been like, that sucks, but it's okay, it's going to get better. And there's something really amazing, even if they don't respond, something really amazing about putting out there into the internet, which is just this big void, and just being like, I've let it out, and someone might see it, someone may not.
But you get
feel
that
so much better by getting it out.
Yeah. And what's really good about having it on a platform like that is that you can really get out what you want to say because there's nobody there to interrupt you or to sort of change you off your track and say, stop right there, you know, this, that. You can sort of say exactly what you want, which is really liberating a lot of the time.
Definitely. And I think if you were to write in your own personal journal and put it away, it's still almost kept to yourself and still really bottled up to a certain extent. Whilst if you sort of let it out, especially if someone responds, you have that, like I said, opens it up. And I think a lot of times people would say, me too, like I never want to ever say something, but I completely agree, which is really interesting really on really hard topics. So things like a lady saying, you know, I love my sons, but I always wanted a daughter. Someone else would go, I think exactly the same way, but I can't tell anyone, because how do you say that without sounding like a bad person?
Or sounding like you're not grateful for what you already have.
Yeah, completely. And I think to a certain extent, friends do come into that where you can tell your closest friends stuff like, you know, the things like don't tell anyone, but those kind of
things like that.
But I think parenting's a really hard one because I think there's a sort of almost like a stigma of judgment, and you have to be the perfect parent and always have the cleanest house and the perfect kids. And even though generally everything's falling apart, because
you have to have
kids
this
are very chaotic.
Everything is really good.
Completely, yeah.
I think it's really important that people acknowledge that what might not be an issue for them or what might seem a trivial or small issue is actually quite a big deal for somebody else.
Yes.
I think when I talk to my friends, you know, even if the issue they have is quite menial, I know that for whatever reason or for whatever factors surrounding that, it's important to them at that point in time. So it's important to give them some advice or just listen to what they're saying, because at that moment it is really important for them.
I think it's similar to when people say they're really busy and then you hear what they're actually doing and part of you goes, that's not busy, that's my everyday. And you have to remember that that's busy for that person, and that therefore it's stressful. You can't be like, no, you're wrong, that's not busy, this is busy. Me is busy.
Because people have different coping methods and different abilities to handle certain situations.
Which, and again, vice versa, you might say something's been really difficult or really find something really sad, and they'd be like, that's not a sad thing. So
I think it's all about different personality types. But I was going to ask you, Victoria, if you were going to write some sort of confessional piece about like a certain aspect of your life.
Right now on air? Okay, guys, listen up. No,
listen up, really something really deep. No, I wasn't meaning something deep, but like if you had to sort of just write, you know, straight out 1,000 words about something in your life. It could be something really, really good about, I mean, I read a really interesting one a few weeks ago that someone wrote. I think she's 20 or 21 and she's a reasonably well-known writer in a national sense. And she wrote this long piece about how she's really, really good at everything, but she doesn't like to tell people because she feels like that makes her sound bad. But she gets all this rap about being so young and so accomplished, but she, rather than being able to say, yeah, isn't it good? I am so good at everything. She always just has to be humble. So it was sort of the other way around.
Oh, so you asked me if there's anything
that you would write about, whether it's good or whether it's, you know, whether it's something like I'm a bad person or something like, you know, I'm amazing at everything.
I'm not sure. I have to really be in a mood, like the few times that I have vented online, and I've never been like this person in particular, but
no name and shame out.
But even like when I have felt that, I've been quite generic, because I'm like, that it's my business, not the person who was involved, because they might not even realize that they've caused that. But I don't know. I can't think of anything. I get I get very blank.
You'd have written it if there was an issue.
Yeah, like I have to be quite in not an extreme emotion, but like enough that I physically can't hold in. I do need to let it out.
I find that I go through phases. Like 1 minute, the entire world is coming down, but then half an hour later, you know, I'll be like, "What was all the drama about?"
Well, I was reading an article saying that, like, when you do have those kind of emotions, bottling up is the worst thing to do, and you should just ride through the emotion. So not feed it, but be aware of it and be okay with its presence, and know that, you know, to have the highs you need the lows and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's really important. Balance in
we
life.
sort of feel like, oh, I have to be happy all the time, blah, blah, and I have to be always positive and all this. It's like, no, it's okay to feel really bad for a day, and it's okay to have an off day, but it's also okay to be angry, and it's okay to be happy and joyous and excited.
Yeah, it's good to have a full spectrum of emotions. I think I feel like if I was happy 100% of the time, there'd be something that was missing almost, because you're just too into
that would become
mood.
Your normal.
Yeah. I like that. Interesting thoughts here, guys. We're getting
a bit deep.
Just a little bit, but no, it's pretty interesting stuff. So Yeah, we're going to move on.
Yes.
We're going to have a little bit of music now.
we're gonna
Victoria's going to talk a bit about this one.
Okay, we're going to play my favourite song at the moment, which is a slight shout out to my friend Grace because we are both in love with this song at the moment.
Hi, Grace.
It is New Romantics by Taylor Swift. And if you haven't heard it, it's on her new album. It's amazing. You're about to hear it now. So enjoy and just enjoy it. I'm so excited.
Is this the 1989 album?
It is indeed. It's so good. Okay.
Cool.
Enjoy.
Hit us up. Radio Northern Beaches. That was New Romantics by Taylor Swift. And now we have a little bit of a more serious issue to bring up on the show today. This week we were really saddened to hear about the deaths of Ben Sawyer, Luke Shanahan and Lachlan Burley on the Bells Line of Road on Sunday afternoon. So I think we heard about it here on Monday morning. Particularly for us here on the show, we went to high school with Lachlan and I've known him from outside of school as well. So we were really devastated to hear about this. He's 3 weeks out from finishing high school and 6 weeks out from turning 18. So it's exceptionally tragic. And a memorial fund has been set up for Lachlan's family. And we would encourage anyone who is willing and able to donate to please do so. So the donation page can be found by visiting mycause.com.au/page/110253/Lachlan Burley Tribute Fund. And we ask for your thoughts to be with the Burley family and the other victims at this difficult time. So yeah, a bit of a sad end to our show, but it was it's really important to talk about these things. So we really just do ask that you step up and help out in this situation if you can.
And I think with Lachlan being a Northern Beaches local, I think it really hit home to a lot of people because it's such a for such a large area, it is such a tight community.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think obviously not as strongly as the family and immediate friends, but I think we do all feel this death really, really strongly.
3 young people is always very
really
tragic.
hard. And I do agree. I think our thoughts and prayers do go out to his family and the family of the other victims. And I think that's, I think we all feel that.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving on, here at Radio Northern Beaches, we are all volunteers, as I'm sure you hear all the time when you listen to People's Show. But Victoria's going to talk a little bit more about how you can help us out with that.
Yeah, so we have a, what would you call it, a sponsorship sort of thing going on at the moment?
Yeah, something like that.
Called Buy a Brick. So you can buy a metaphorical brick. You don't...
Don't buy an actual physical brick.
Don't give us an actual brick. But you can...
No, but you own a physical brick. I think that's the idea.
Yeah, but you don't buy it and give it to us.
No, you don't get to hold it.
That'd be a little bit weird.
It's in the wall.
But yeah, so you can buy a brick by donating to Radio Northern Beaches, and that helps support community radio, which is a really important part of a community, I think.
It's great to have something to listen to each week that you know is local to your area.
Yeah, and definitely, really specified on the events and the people and just the happenings and the lifestyle of the Northern Beaches. And
there's all sorts of diverse programs here. I mean, we have different cultural ones, different language ones, and ones for various age groups. And of course, we have your very favourite 3 p.m. takeover for when you're driving home.
I know it's my favourite.
It's certainly my favourite.
And I'm not biased at all. So, so if you do want to donate and, buy a brick, please visit rnb.org.au and follow the links. And you can also, on that website, you can check out all the different shows and what times they run. And if you want to be involved, if you are interested in being a radio presenter, all you have to do is a course and some training, which is what we did. And it was really fun, and everyone here is so supportive. And
it's a great way to get involved in your community. So when you're on the website, you can look up the details of the next training day. So if anyone out there is interested in becoming a radio host, it is possible. And it's a really, really great thing to do with your week. So I would definitely encourage you to do it if you've been thinking about it.
Definitely. And I think, on a side note, it is quite rewarding.
Yeah,
I think it is. So. It's really enjoyable. It's really rewarding. And it's your own thing. Like Hope and I, we plan each show ourselves, and we do all the music, all the paneling. We do it all ourselves. And it's a really nice feeling to...
Yeah, I feel really satisfied.
Completely your own.
Knowing that you can come in and just put it all together yourself. And these are the kind of skills that you are able to learn in one sort of all-day workshop that's really, really comprehensive, and it's great for learning.
Yeah, but you also have the support of the community radio team behind it. So if there's...
Yeah, there's a lot of great people around.
Yeah, and lots of great shows to train on, and It's a really, community radio, yay, basically.
We love it. So, if you can help us out, please visit the website, buy a brick or donate in any other way that you can. All donations, great and small, are really appreciated.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, that is coming to the end of the show for the week.
We're going to wrap up now.
We are. We've had a really good
quick
week.
hour.
It goes so fast.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, Victoria.
Which is very cliche, but I think it's very true right now.
But it comes back. We've been talking about cliches, so that's okay.
Today is cliche day.
It is.
I'll announce it.
All right, guys, keep it right here, Radio Northern Beaches, and we will see you next week on the 3 p.m. Takeover.
Thanks for having us. Have a great week.
Catch you later.
Bye.